Well, this is another Atheist Sunday School. Now you may notice that I'm doing it this way and I'm not having the, the cameras directly on my, cell phone directly over this, because, let's face it, the words don't come clear and it's still a little harder to understand. But you can, of course, go to King James Bible online and, find these verses. Basic Bible stories. Daniel and the Lion's Den, Lesson 10. Introduction. Daniel stood the test as a youth, coming to Babylon headquarters to stay and yet standing for what was right. Now he came to a bigger test. He was the second greatest man in the kingdom. Yeah, sure. Nebuchadnezzar is going to say, Dan, I want to make you second in command because he can do all this stuff. Forgive all my princes and all these other people. Like the Egyptian Pharaoh putting Joseph second in command. Yeah, right. Learn MOT, M-A, comma, A-T, learn about what that is. Google it. You'll see why that's completely unbelievable. The testing. Daniel 6. Daniel was right under the king. The men under Daniel became jealous and tricked the king into signing a decree that was wicked. Daniel realized that his continual praying as his custom had been would lead him to be cast in the den of lions. The angel of the Lord came and delivered him. The king promised Daniel even higher because he stood the test. Oh my goodness. Daniel as a youth was in the habit of standing for what was right. In the early days of his life, it tells you about his food and all this stuff, Daniel has stood right throughout the years, and, Daniel was a good worker in both kingdoms. He had been a great man in the Babylonian kingdom that had been conquered, and for that reason one would think that he should have been looked upon as an enemy and as such imprisoned or banished. However, Daniel was a hard worker and one who did his job. Well, Darius, the new king, could see this. Character has eyes, talent is blind. Talent may cause a person to rise for a while, but he will eventually sell, not to what he can do, but to what he is. Parents should understand that the important thing is not developing talent to their children, but developing character in their children. Okay. Character will enable the child to see what he ought to do. This is so important, so vital. Daniel had a good spirit in him. Daniel 6:3, which of course, like I said, you can go to KingJamesBibleOnline.org and check the verse out. This is a tremendous statement. He not only took a stand, but also had a good spirit. It's easy for Christians to become fundamental and not have the proper spirit. A spirit of love, a spirit of cooperation, a spirit of humility, etc. Vile to go withstanding. Unless, of course, somebody disagrees with you politically or something, Because of Daniel's promotion and because of his excellent spirit, he was envied by those under him. Daniel 6:1-4, chief had been placed over every province that belonged to the empire of the Medes and Persians. There were 120 of these. The 120 were divided into groups of 40, with a president over each one. This means there were 3 presidents. The king placed Daniel over the presidents. This partiality of the king toward Daniel made him the object of envy of the other presidents and leaders of the kingdom because they were envious and jealous. They sought to hurt him. We should teach our youth that the more right they do, the more they will be envied. Ecclesiastes 4:4, in every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. Do you really envy people who are nice and do right? Of course not. You don't. But don't you kind of envy people that are nasty, vile people that end up being extremely rich, like those Hollywood elite scumbags and those ball chasers, the people chase after balls, football players, basketball players, and they're scum. Not all actors, not all athletes are scumbags. I'm just saying the ones that are scumbags, but they're making millions, Those are the ones you kind of envy because you're like, man, those bastards are trash. They're dumber. They're dumber than a pile of rocks, and they're rich. But of course, they're going to tell their congregation this because it's like, well, you're just being persecuted because you're doing right. You're a Christian. Muslims do the same type of thing, too, in any other religion. It's just a good way to tell people and make that people feel better about themselves than their nonsense. They could find no fault in Daniel. Daniel 6:5. Here is a tremendous virtue. They found no blemish in his administration. He was faithful to the king. He was faithful to his God. Hence, they they had to construe his faithfulness to his God as a crime is an excellent thing, and certainly the glory of God when those who profess Christianity conduct themselves in such a manner in their whole conversation that the most watchful and critical of enemies find no reason for blaming them. Like, that's what we do. Like, I care. If I'm working with somebody and this person's a Christian and they're doing their job, that's fine. If they're an atheist, a Muslim, a Jew, that's good. I could care less about their religion or lack thereof. I could care less about their skin tone, their political beliefs, or whatever. Okay? Only an idiot will call someone stupid for having a different ideology or religion. I could care less if someone disagrees with me on any subject or any belief system. I don't care if you're a liberal or a conservative. I do not care. It makes no sense. As long as you're doing your job, doing what you're supposed to do, and you're not making my life a living hell, I don't care. You know, not like people I work with, some of them are complete scumbags. Some of the people I work with are decent. You know, and it's been like that every job I've had. And one of the worst people where I have worked at that was, professes to be a Christian workplace was a Christian. And she was nasty, always cussing. I'm going to get this person fired, that person fired. I'm going to do this. I'm going straight to this person and get she fired, and that person fired. F this, F that, F this. Nasty, vile person. And she was a Christian, sang in the choir at her church. And knew the preacher personally at her church. The enemies tricked Daniel by his devotion to his God. Daniel 6, 7 through 9. They knew that Daniel prayed 3 times a day with his window open and his face toward Jerusalem. When the Jews were in distant countries in prayer, they turned their faces towards Jerusalem. But when in Jerusalem, they turned their faces towards the temple. Solomon, in his prayer of dedication at the temple in 1 Kings 8:48, asked God to hear the prayers of those who might be in strange lands or in captivity when they should turn their faces toward their own land, which God gave unto their fathers, and toward the city which he had chosen, and the house which was dedicated to his name. Daniel did nothing different to be cast into the den of lions or to stand the test. Had he not been praying in this manner, he would not have started praying in this manner, and he would not have changed or yielded his convictions. We should do what we think is right before the testing comes and continue to do what is right during the test. We should not be looking for a running from testing, looking for a running from persecution. Oh, man. We should simply do what is right to do. You gotta love this persecution complex. And it's not just theists that have it. Certain groups, like in the in Western society, you have certain groups, they claim they're oppressed. Certain minority groups and a certain gender, they're complaining that they're being oppressed. You're in a freaking Western society. You don't know what oppression is. Like the UN stated, the United States is the most dangerous place for women. Really? Not Saudi Arabia or my homeland, Iran? Seriously? Seriously? The UN is serious about this. In Iran, if a woman is raped, she could be stoned to death or hanged. In Saudi Arabia, the same freaking thing. Damn. This persecution crap. They don't. Certain other groups, ethnicities complain of being persecuted, and it's not just, It's every ethnicity. Whites claim they're being persecuted too. Oh, the media lies. They don't mention black on white crime, and then the black people, cops are doing this and all. Shut the hell up. There's nothing, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, you should speak on it, okay? I apologize for saying shut up. You shouldn't shut up about it. You should speak on it. You do have a right. The media should be mentioning black on white crime, and there needs to be oversight on the police. I agree with that, so I shouldn't have said what I was about to say. That's why I stopped myself. But come on, you're not persecuted, though. Christians. Let's look at Daniel's prayer life for a minute. He prayed in his house. In every prayer he gave thanks. He prayed upon his knees. He opened the windows of his chamber. He did it 3 times a day. The key words in all of Daniel's standing are found in verse 10. As he did aforetime. What does this mean? He usually did it. the promotion. God sent angels to Dan, his angel to Dan. Daniel 6:22. The word angel in the Bible simply means messenger. God sent his messenger. No doubt this is the Lord Jesus Christ, the same one who intended Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire furnace. Yeah, it just happens to be this Jesus Christ. Darius was convinced that Daniel's God was a living God. Daniel 6:26. People could see in Daniel that his God was alive. Would this be true in us? Daniel was promoted. Daniel 6:28. Daniel served several kings: Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, Darius, and Cyrus. Few men could survive so long a reign and serve so many masters without flattering any, and yet being successful to all, as was Daniel. I like to see evidence that any of these Persian or Babylonian kings considered Daniel's God as real or above their gods, or that any of this actually happened. Remember in verse Daniel 6:27, he delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. And this concludes our Bible study. Bye-bye.